I met George Moore nearly 40 years after he died. Not George in the flesh, of course. I met his legacy as a venerable man of letters. I started reading his novels and stories, then memoirs, then plays and poems, then essays. I even read his bibliography, line by line. Finally, I read the letters he wrote to friends and family and others, and I was smitten. My reading for pleasure morphed into research, research morphed into editing, editing morphed into publishing, and all the while I was collecting about 500 volumes so far. On and off for about 50 years, George has been my friend. Actually, more than a friend. He grounded and centered me as I matured and changed, even when I changed almost beyond recognition. He held a mirror that showed who I am. Ironically, this transformative and contrarian author has been my compass and safe harbor. He inspired a pastime, a vocation, a hobby, and a lifelong passion. And he did all that without ever telling me why. The question remains open. Why George? Why have I devoted such time and resources to him? Why should others care enough to donate? After all, nobody has an economic or moral incentive, so why bother? The question hasn't occurred to me before, probably because by nature I just do what I want. I rarely pause to explain why, even to myself. But this is different. When accepting donations on behalf of George, I have a duty to explain why him and why me. Not because George is the greatest writer of his generation or his tradition, or even the greatest writer I've read. George just isn't the greatest. Superlatives have nothing to do with him or with me. Rather than the greatest, to me, he's just simpatico. Simpatico means I get him as easily as I breathe, and I believe he gets me in my pose as a skeptical reader. He knows I hate insincerity, vulgarity, triviality, and foolishness, and he likes that about me. It's something we have in common. As a writer, he made his own life and mine more beautiful. Not better, because better isn't the point for George Moore. His forte is beauty for its own sake, the proverbial gem-like flame. And this is why I'm bringing him back to life with technology, and why I'm seeking donations to get that done. Sooner or later, I want to talk with George one-on-one. I want to have meandering conversations after dinner, by his fire, with cats on our laps. I also want George to have one-on-one conversations with others, without me as their scholarly chaperone, without me explaining and interpreting what he says, without me even present in the picture. By helping George speak for himself, he may do for others what he's done for me. George may become as active in our world as I've been in his. If you're not already a fan of George Moore, this may sound off the wall. I may come across like an old geezer who hasn't grown up, and that's okay, because it's true of me and of George too. We never outgrew a naive love of art, beauty, and truth. We're strivers who excelled and succeeded and often didn't. We are simpatico. We hold mirrors up to the other. We remind the other of who we are and long to be. And that is the basic why of George Moore. That's why I'm getting him ready to meet you. If you support the campaign, you'll eventually meet George as he was in life, as you are in this moment. He may not impress you as much as he impresses me, but I think you'll like and learn a lot from him about art, literature, culture, and human nature everywhere, and more subtle things too, like how to be true to yourself as you make your way, ever changing. George wasn't the best at that, but he was always true to himself, his friends, and his word. If you're not already his friend, here's a chance to become one by making a donation.